That is a sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. It is a sunnah of every prophet. But our Prophet ﷺ, he is higher than any prophet, and he's special. He is Rahmatil Alamin because never once he cursed his ummah. Maybe some groups here and there he's putting harsh words, a little bit here and there. But as his people, as the ummah, he sent to us as a mercy, although we are the ummah of the Akhir Zaman, and in the Akhir Zaman, we have become worse than any other ummah. Ummah doesn't mean Muslims. Ummah means anyone who lived 1400 years, that they came into this world until Judgment Day. We belong to that, whether you're a believer or unbeliever. That, as we had said before, this is the worst time being the ummah, because whatever the earlier prophets and their ummah's wrong things that they did, that they are punished heavy for it, this ummah now is doing it all together in the same time. Yes? All together at the same time. Now we're seeing even rabbis and popes, they are bending down and bowing down to the pressure of what the ego wants in these times and saying it's okay. Allah knows if we're going to find in Islam, there are already people who are talking on behalf of Islam, that they're saying this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. Don't judge, don't this, that. Only Allah can judge. And everything that the earlier ummahs that they did, this ummah, we're doing it all together now, in the past 100 years, especially in the past 50 years, especially in the past 7, 8 years. It's crazy. And there is no power on the face of the earth that can stop it except for the power of Allah. And Allah is saying how the ummah is going to. These are the signs of the last days. Why are we here on top of a mountain? We are here to escape from all of that. We're not claiming this or that. We're not claiming. We're not saying we're such holy people, such good people. No, we're running away from that. Every one of us, we came from that. And we say we find a little bit more peace here, a little bit more time for worship, a little bit more peace to be sitting down with each other, to have nice sohbat with each other. So you're asking, what is the drive that the sheikhs, they're still reaching out? I was thinking about this yesterday because somebody was asking something a little bit similar to that. Shaykh Maulana is saying, in this Akhir Zaman, it is as if the friends of Allah, they are trying to pull this huge 18-wheeler truck, and this 18-wheeler is facing the cliff, and it's hitting its gas with all the power, and all the ummah is in there, and shaitan is leading, driving, and is about to go off the cliff, and the awliya Allah, they are holding it. But Shaykh Maulana said this years ago. He says, it will come a time when even the awliya Allah, they will have to let go. Otherwise, if they don't, they'll be dragged into that cliff. So that hasn't happened in our situation yet. We're still calling, but we're not forcing. We're not claiming something, but we have something that our sheikhs, they showed us, and it is useful to us. It is beneficial, and it is good. And there is a tradition that has been going on for over 1,400 years, and it is still fresh and alive. And we are offering it to people who wants it. To those who don't, we don't force them. They are come, they're going. They believe, they don't believe. At the end of the day, everyone is responsible for themselves. But that is the responsibility of the sheikhs, especially the sheikhs of this ummah. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he did not even give up from his own uncles. He went there over and over and over again. You understand? But not every sheikh is like that. Not every sahabi is the same. Not every prophet is the same. So not every sheikh, not every murshid is the same also. Some they're given this work, others given this work. You understand? And the ones that we're following, depending on the work that they've given you, you do. If they say, be quiet, don't interfere so much, it is better. If they say, now speak to those who want to listen, only speak nicely to those who want to listen. Those who don't want to listen, you cannot force them. Because the world is turning in the wrong direction. It's turned in the wrong direction for some time. And we say we don't want to turn in that direction. That's why we're removing ourselves. We still have to use from this world, yes, but we're not going to be supporting that system, believing in that, supporting in that. You understand? So we're following the sheikhs who are doing that. We still have to reach out. Like I said, people who come into tariqat here, or people who come into Islam, and you have friends or families and they don't understand and they don't like, they start to curse and this and that. Still be patient. Still be patient. Meaning don't curse at them, at least pray for them. Because you don't know what's going to happen. The khutbah is saying, the prayer, it is a weapon of the believer. The khutbah is also mentioning Imam Farooq al-Sirhin. He is Mujaddid al-Thani, the second Mujaddid. And he is Faruqi, meaning he comes from the lineage of Hazrat Umar. And Hazrat Umar, he was a firm enemy to the Prophet ﷺ before the prayer of the Prophet changed him. Don't just think that Hazrat Umar just made up on his mind on his own. Nothing happens like that. You understand? When you're doing something good, don't take credit for it. It is because first Allah is turning your heart. Then Allah's protocol is He doesn't directly. He's sending prophets to turn your heart. The prophets, they come and they're not staying because they fall under the law of mankind. They have to go. One of the reasons why Hazrat Isa is going to come back is he has to come back to taste death because he's still a man. He has to taste death and he has to marry. And then when the time comes, he's going to go. But they have their waris. They have those ones who are representing them. So those holy ones, it is through their prayers that it opened the way. Just as Prophet ﷺ was asking Allah, Ya Rabbi, change, make one of these two Umars to help me and to support me. Who was the other Umar? One is Hazrat Umar. Who is the other Umar? Huh? His uncle. His own uncle who was the greatest enemy to him. And still he didn't give up hope. Until the time comes when he says, now you can't talk so much. They're still resisting. Then that time, the order didn't come. After 13 years or 10 years, suddenly now you have to fight back. Now you have to punish them. Now you have to declare. No, he says, now you have to go somewhere. You have to make hijrah. Go find somewhere safe. Make a hijrah and worship. Don't fight. Until you have completely fought against your ego and that you are following the way of the Prophet ﷺ and Hazrat Ali. That when he pinned down that unbeliever and he was about to cut his neck off, and that unbeliever spat in his face and he stopped. And the unbeliever is looking at him and says, go ahead and kill me. He says, no, I will not. Before I was going to strike you for Allah's sake, but because you spit at me, I was going to strike you with anger. And anything that you do with anger, in reality, if it's not for Allah's sake, it is forbidden. In tariqat we say, don't even cook with anger. Don't go to sleep with anger. When you are angry, which is one of the four main enemies, the ego that has these four qualities, anger. As the Prophet ﷺ is saying, when you are angry, shaitan plays with you as if you are balls in his hands. He plays with you. So we're following in that tradition, the Sahaba Kiram. Now, Allah is saying in the Holy Quran, now you throw. Defend yourself. Now you throw. Although it is you are throwing, it is not you who are throwing, it is Allah who is throwing. You understand? Now that time you become a wasila. You become, like you say, you are representing truth. You're not representing your ego or your desire. But that you have to go through certain training for that. Because most people, they don't even know what their ego is. But the Prophet ﷺ is saying, Ya Rabbi, protect me from my ego. Don't leave me to my ego even for the blink of an eye. This is now we're entering into tasawwuf. Now we're entering into spirituality. And spirituality is what is in your heart. Outside you can be very good. But inside, if you're not aware of what is inside, it can destroy you. And everything that you're doing good outside, it will destroy you. La ilaha illallah. Everything must declare Allah, not us. And the Ahli Tasawwuf, we're looking for not open shirk, we're looking for hidden shirk. Shirk is to associate a partner to Allah. Does a cow say to itself, I am partner to Allah? No. Does shaitan ever say, I'm partner to Allah? No. Mountain is saying, I'm a partner to Allah? No. But mankind is worshipping to all these things, making them partners to Allah. It is mankind. You understand? It is the ego that is declaring itself a partner to Allah. This is the hidden shirk. That the ego is saying, I. And the Prophet ﷺ is saying, the ego, the hidden shirk, it is harder to detect than a black ant on a black rock in the darkest part of the night. So now we're looking at surgery. Spiritually, you look good. I mean, outside with the eye, you look good. You're wearing nice turban, you're going up and down, you're praying, you're doing this, you have a beard. But Prophet ﷺ is also known as Tabib al-Qulub. This is one of his titles. The doctor of the heart. Yes. Outside, you look very healthy. Everyone looks very healthy now. But if you're a doctor, you know what everyone's disease is, and everyone is carrying something, whether they know or they don't know or they carried before. Correct or no? So the Tabib al-Qulub, those ones who are inheritors of the Prophet ﷺ, certain sheikhs, then maybe you don't realize, but if you want to get rid of the sickness, who is without spiritual sickness? Who is going to say, I have complete control over my anger, or my jealousy, or my envy, or my stubbornness, or my anger? And these come in hundreds of thousands of tricks and traps. You say, no, this is not so important. What is important is we have to pray, we have to make zikr. You don't understand. These are outside actions. So many, when they are praying, their mind and their heart is somewhere else. So many, when they're making a zikr, they're saying Allah, 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 but your mind is somewhere else. So this is looking at our heart. And when we discover that there's so many wrong things there, we say, Ya Rabbi, help us. Help us. At least to admit that is the first step. The one who is an addict from drugs and all kinds of wrong things, no doctor can help him if he doesn't want to help himself, no? And he can only help himself if he discovers that this is a bad thing. If he still thinks it's a good thing, nobody can intervene. He's going to find a way to destroy himself. But when he decides, he says, no, this is not good, but I'm weak, I cannot do anything. I'm asking Allah, Allah will send you help. So what is our aim now? Our aim is just to become a servant. Don't listen to those ones say, if you join this tariqat, you're going to see this light. If you join this tariqat, you're going to become a saint. You can work this miracle, this, that. No. We want to become servants to Allah. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, he has thousands of names. But he says the most beloved name to me is Abdullah. So we're learning that. Inshallah, may Allah protect us, and may Allah guide us, and may Allah forgive us. Al-Fatiha. Amen. Assalamu alaikum.